Hello everyone and welcome to my coloring corner. Today is Fun Stuff Friday and we have another wonderful set of colored pencils. These are the SOHO Urban Artist colored pencils. They are a Jerry's Artorama brand of pencils. They were created for Jerry's Artorama by the same company that produces Cretacolor. And I absolutely adore my Cretacolor pencils. I'm going to zoom this out a little bit. There you go. Now you can see it. And I just love my Cretacolor Mega Color pencils that I got. And I can't seem to get the Cretacolor colored pencils off of Amazon. So I had these in my wish list off of Amazon for quite some time, and they disappeared off of Amazon. So you can no longer get the 72 count on Amazon. You can get a smaller set of these on Amazon, which I will link in the description below. But I will also put the link for Jerry's Artorama where I purchased these from. They are water resistant, um, highly pigmented, smooth consistency, 3.8 millimeter soft lead, and it is glued all the way down the shaft. So it's the same type of thing that Faber-Castell does with their polychromos. So you don't get as many broken leads, which is really cool. So let's take a look at the packaging. So it has this cardboard sleeve that goes over top of the tin, which is cool because it keeps the tin closed. Now the tin is very plain. There's nothing on it. It is quite literally a silver tin. That's it. On the back of this sleeve, it gives you all of your colors and their color names and everything else. And it's really large, so you can really see what your color swatches are going to look like instead of just having a little tiny area with the colors. The available sets for the SOHO Urban Artist is a 12, 24, 36, and 72. And I have the 72 set here so that we can look at all of the colors. And because I have full set syndrome, and I had to have the full set. Because, yeah, um, they are made in Austria, and they are made in cooperation with Cretacolor from Austria, which is, of course, one of the world's oldest and most respected. Bleh. Hold on a second, words are hard. Respected pencil manufacturers, to the specifications of Jerry's Artorama. So I had to give them a try. Let's look at the pencils. Ready? Ready? Are we ready? So in this very plain box are these absolutely gorgeous pencils. They are hexagonal. They're quite large. They're not as large as the Cretacolor ones because the ones I have are the mega ones, but I think they're about the same size and the same shape as the regular Cretacolor pencils. I don't have them, so I couldn't tell you. I had them on my list, but they stopped selling them. So when they start selling them again, hopefully, I will give them a purchase and test them against these and see if they're the same. So it says SOHO Urban Artist colored pencils from Austria. It has the Austria stamp there just like the Cretacolors do. And then on the back side here it has a barcode, pink coral, and the color number. These are purchasable as individual pencils, so you can purchase each of these colors. Awesome! So if you use up a color, you can buy a whole new color instead of buying a whole new set, which is wonderful. Now they have them situated here back and forth to avoid breakage on the tips, which is also really kind of cool. I have never seen another set of pencils like this beyond the Cretacolor. The one thing I don't like about the packaging is this. The trays are very, very flimsy. So you have to be really careful moving the trays. It does come with this little piece of paper lifter, which is great to get the tray lifted up just enough that you can pick up the edges. But be very careful. The trays are very, very flimsy. So it does go from it goes from the whites into the yellows, into your reds and pinks, purples, blues, into your greens, aquatic blues, blue-green colors, more of your gray greens and that sort of thing, olive greens. And then it goes into your kind of your skin, your light skin tones down here. The colors are a little everywhere, but I will go through and redo them at some point and get them all figured out. For now, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the swatch, and we're going to go from there, and we're going to color something with them. We'll test whether or not they can be sharpened with the Doll 133, and we'll see how long a tip lasts us. All right, guys, I will be right back. It is swatch time. Okay, so that wasn't so bad. Of course, I sped it up and I added some wonderful music to it for you. Um, I can't swatch that fast. So, after swatching them and taking a look at the color lineup and that sort of thing, this is the way they are in the box, except for these two here, for some reason, are before the white. I don't know why. But the way that they are in the box is it goes from the black and lamp black into our white. Excuse me, one second. I swallowed the wrong way. Into our lemon yellows, our cadmium yellows, cadmium yellow dark, Indian yellow light. Now this Indian yellow should be up here as far as I'm concerned. Same with the Mars yellow, it should also be up here. And then we go into our oranges, our reds, into our pinks and our red purpley colors, and then into our bright pinks and mauve. See, this mauve and these purples should all be together. I think these three pinks should be up here all at once. And then into our dark purples, our dark violets, into periwinkle, and then our blues, into our greens, and then we've got our aquatic greens here, our green blue colors, and then into our olive colors, and then we have our light skin tones here. Now the Naples yellow, Mars yellow, Indian yellow, and engine red, as well as the Algerian crimson and the Venetian red, I believe all should be up here with those color families. And then we have some browns and a warm gray, which should be over here. And then we have our urban gray, light gray, cool gray, medium gray, lamp black, and very black. Ivory black. Not very black, ivory black. So there is a huge selection in a 72 count set of all of the different color families, as well as the ability to color from light to dark and so forth. So we're going to color with them. Now I'm going to take a couple of seconds here to get this set up because I gotta take them out of the box. So just give me 2 seconds. We're gonna switch you on over to the other camera and we're gonna color a picture. Let's color, let's see, so that we don't have to do too much of pulling everything out. Oh, let's color this cute little caravan down there. And that way I've only got to shift things around a little bit. There we go. Actually, I could pretty much color any of them. And still, let's color the coffee, just for the fun of it. Because it's cute and I like coffee. Alright, so let's take a look here. Where is... Oh, it's underneath. Where is my swatch? Alright, so we need a little bit of raw sienna, which is this one, I think. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Not far enough down. I think it's this one. This one. So we've got some raw sienna and some sepia. And I'm going to give you a quick look at the pencils here. So as you can see, it says SOHO Urban Artist colored pencils, and it's got the Austria stamp, the same stamp that you will find on Cretacolor pencils. And then on the back side it has the barcode, the color name, as well as the color number. Now, the one thing that I don't like about these is if you are one of those people that only writes down your color names and not your color numbers like I do. So as you can see on my swatch sheet, I've only got the color names. So I'm actually going to have to go back through and put down the color numbers, because as soon as you get down halfway through your pencil, your color name is going to be gone, and all you're going to have left is this color number. So either you're going to have to put a color name sticker on the end of your pencil, or you're going to have to make sure that you write down your color numbers. So I will have to go back through mine to write down those color numbers so that I don't, completely go crazy once I get halfway down the pencil. Oh, and I've got sepia here, and I don't want sepia yet. That's the dark one. Yeah, I want the Rossienne first. Had to look. So we're going to color the T. And of course, I just noticed that there's a little leaf there. So it's a green tea, and I'm coloring it brown. I'm coloring it as a black tea. So these are a harder pencil. They are definitely a layering pencil. One that you would have to, work with for a little bit of time. The paper I'm using is quite toothy, and I am getting a really good coverage with this pencil. So the tip seems to stay really sharp. I have not had to sharpen them yet. So the next one, this one here, I'm actually going to sharpen this one, and we're going to try the Dahl 133. I'm not going to do it where I'm going to shake y'all up. It doesn't need a lot of sharpening because it's already sharp, but it fits in the Dahl 133 quite nicely, and it sharpens up quite well. And like I said, they are definitely a layering pencil, so you're gonna have to have a little bit of patience with them. You could definitely put them down heavy, but they don't need it. They are very pigmented. They are a little bit of, like I said, a little bit harder of a pencil. And after I'm done this cup of coffee here, I'm going to take a look because I can't remember what they said they are made with. So I'm just going to finish this part here, and then I'm going to take a look at the website here. Just 1 second. See full description. There we go. So they're highly pigmented and light resistant. They've got basswood barrel, and it does not say. Yeah, it does not say what they are. Oh, there we go. A great deal of pigment rather than wax. It is a wax based, but more pigment than wax. There we go. Uses highly pigmented, vibrant colors. So it is a wax-based pencil, but it is quite a hard wax-based pencil. So there's a lot of pigment in there because it does not have the smoosh of a wax-based pencil, which is to me a good thing because I don't like the smoosh of a wax-based pencil. I find it annoying when I'm trying to color and all I'm getting is smoosh. Alright, so I need to put this one this way. Trying to put them back in the box. Alright, now we're going to color the cup, and I'm going to color the cup this urban blue because it's a really pretty light blue. And like I said, you just put down the lightest of layers. And I may use these for coloring with tomorrow in the Circle of Life book. I'm just doing around the very top this band in this urban blue color, and down here at the bottom in the saucer. And the edge of the saucer. All right. And it's a very light color, so it's not showing up on camera very well. All right, and then we're going to take this one, which should be Falathiel blue. Yes. And we're just going to do our little shadow area. And I'm extending that dark out a little bit. And I'll blend it in with a little bit more of the urban blue. And they blend quite nicely. And they are filling the tooth of this paper, and this paper is quite toothy. So they are filling up that tooth of the paper quite nicely. And what areas it's not filling it up, I can definitely blend. I didn't want to put any more of that color down in there. I didn't want it to be too dark, so. Then we're going to go down here around the base of the cup with the Falathiel blue, because we're going to have a couple of areas that are going to be shadowed by the cup. And here by the spoon. But they seem to be a very, very lovely pencil so far. I've only used a few colors and did the swatch, but so far they're wonderful. Okay, so we're going to put these back, and then we're going to use the light Cerulean blue, which is another really light blue, but it's not as light as the urban blue. And we're going to go around all these little spots. Now there's also no metallics in this set, and I don't know if they have metallics available for these urban artist set, the SOHO set. So just gonna fill this in with that light blue. And of course I'm going to have to go into that area there with a darker color for the shadows. Same with down under there. So for that, we're going to take this one, which is Falathiel turquoise. just gonna... It's amazing how many blues it takes to color a light blue. See, I want them to be different, but the same all at the same time. I just want different shadow levels on them, different tones, if that makes sense. Okay. I'm really liking these. And then we're going to go back over it with the light Carillion blue. And just fill in those little bits of white spot and blend that turquoise in. And we're going to take our urban blue and do the same thing down here. Make sure that we filled in those little bits of white spot. Alright, and then I'm going to put those in there. Didn't want to... I have a habit of sticking them in my hand and holding on to them. So, yeah. So I've got the cadmium yellow medium here. And I'm going to fill in these little dots with the cadmium yellow medium. As well as the handle. Okay. Sorry about that. I have a phone call coming in, but it's an unknown name, unknown number. They can leave a message. The last one that called in was somebody wanting to know if I spoke Spanish. I do not speak Spanish. Sorry about that. I don't know why, but I have got the weirdest buildup in my throat lately. I feel like I'm constantly needing to clear my throat. So this is cadmium yellow deep, and I'm just doing the shadow areas of the handle with it. So those areas that touch the side of the cup as well as go down the inside of the handle. Very, very lovely colors. I think I need a little bit more of this yellow. Very nice. Okay, so there's our little teacup. Now we're going to do the little leaf. And we want that one to go there. And then we'll do the teapot as well. But I want to do the little leaf before I forget it's there. Okay, so that is light olive green that I used there, just because it's going to pick up the colors of the tea. All right, so in the teapot, we are going to use turquoise and Flathiel turquoise and light Carillion blue on the base of the teapot. So we're going to start with the light Carillion blue. And we're going to go around the little picture that's painted on the teapot. There's so many little tiny details in these little tiny pictures. Oh yes, the picture is Rita Berman, and was done last year in June. And I do believe it was a giveaway. I don't know if it's still a giveaway, but I will look, and if it is, I will place the file on the community tab. If you want to color this cute little grouping of miniatures. Normally I do the Joanna Basford miniatures for my new pencils and my hand's completely in you guys' way. Isn't that nice of me? But normally I do the Joanna Basford, but I wanted to do something summery, and these were very summery. Okay. And then we're going to do the spout, because I'm a little teapot, short and stout. Here. I'm not going into it. There we go. And then we're going to use the Flathiel turquoise for our shadow areas. This is killing me. Got my arm up on top of my tray and it's cutting into my arm. I gotta get a bigger desk. I'll get a bigger desk for when I do haul videos. Which is ridiculous because I have a huge desk. So that's how funny that is. If my husband was to hear me say that, he would laugh at me. It's like, you don't need a bigger desk, you need less stuff. Alright. So we won't tell him that, because I don't need less stuff. I like all my stuff. And he has an entire room for his stuff, so. I gave him the room when he started doing the 3D printing, because then he started doing YouTube and stuff like that. And he doesn't mind being on camera, and I do. And I am completely blocking it as I'm coloring. I am so sorry, guys. I don't like my face on camera, so. I don't like my face on anything. I'm just going back through with the lighter blue and blending that darker blue into the rest of the teapot and making sure that I get all of those little areas and crevices that I may have missed. Okay. Now we're going to take our lighter blue, and this is the Urban Blue, and we're going to do the feet, the base of the teapot here, and the top here. And then we're going to take Phthalo Blue, we're going to go into our shadows. And as you can see, the colors are quite vibrant. They're not scratchy or anything, which is really cool. And then I'm just going to go back. Oh! Thank you very much for subscribing. You startled me. I appreciate it. That's the first time I've had a subscriber subscribe while I was filming. Thank you very much. And it startled me. I've got to change that sound because every time it does that I jump. So I really have to change that sound. Make it a little bit less jumpy. But thank you so much for subscribing. I hope you enjoy the channel. Now I'm going in with the cadmium yellow medium and doing the handle, the same as I did on the teacup. And then I'm also going to do the same thing here around the edge of the lid with that medium yellow. And then we're going to take our cadmium yellow deep and we're just going to go in and do our shadows. And then we're also going to do our little lines here as well. And there we go. Now we'll move you over here. Let's see if we can get it so that it's completely centered if I move it around. I think it's this one. Nope. So let's do this. And do that. So now I can move it so that I can see it better without messing you all up. Alright, so now we're going to do the leaves on this little picture. So I need permanent green light. That's cobalt green, moss green. Should be this one. Yep. All right. Pretty green. It's a really pretty green. Like that. Then we're going to take our yellow and we're going to do these little berries in the same yellow that we did little spots on the teacup with. Alright, and then we're going to take our pinks. So we're going to take a Rose Dior and Pink Coral, which I think is this one. Nope, that one's the magenta. Yeah, there's Pink Coral and Rose Dior. So we're going to go through with the Pink Coral and we're just going to color everything with the Pink Coral. And I'm just barely touching the page. Nice light little layers. And I'm probably, covering the whole picture so you can't see it. Okay, so I've covered the whole page with that light pink. Now I'm going to come back in with this really bright pink. And I'm going to put in some shadows. Like that. Then we can go back through and blend it together. Again with the light pink. Like that. And then we're going to take this one here, which is French Violet. Maybe not French Violet. Let me see. Do I want French Violet? No. I want Crimson, which should be this one. I'm going to come through with the Crimson and go around the base here. Just to give it that extra little bit of shadow. Just like that. And then we're going to take the yellow again. I think we're going to go with the lighter yellow this time. And we're going to go with the lemon yellow. And we're going to fill in the circle right in the center. Then we're going to take a little bit of this crimson and we'll make a little bit of an orange there. There we go. And now for the heart, we're going to, let's see, we're going to put these in the tin here, in the barrel. Let's see, which one's this one? Carmine. Yeah, we'll do carmine on the heart here. And once again, it's a I'm going to take a couple of layers to cover up the tooth of the paper, but you don't need to press hard. Just a few light little layers. Oh goodness. Like my tummy's saying that it's hungry or something. Move you over a little bit so I'm not covering up the whole picture on you. Now I'm going back through with the I'm going through with the crimson and doing a bit of a shadow area. Just like that. I get kind of quiet when I'm trying to concentrate. I'm just trying to see what I'm doing. Alright, now these little pictures, they're actually quite challenging for me. I know they don't take a whole lot of time, but I find them quite challenging because the little tiny details I have trouble seeing sometimes. So coloring them with you guys, doing the swatches and that sort of thing, actually helps me out quite a bit in being able to see the details, the smaller details, in a lot of different pictures. So that is one of the reasons why I really actually enjoy doing them with you, because it does help me out quite a bit on whether or not I can see what I'm doing later on those bigger pictures that have a lot of little details. Alright, so we've got the heart done here. Now we're going to do the spoon, and we're going to take our cool gray, and we're going to just cover the whole spoon with the cool gray. And it's got a little tiny bit of a blue tint to it, which is fine. And then we're going to take our lamp black. I think that's this one, yeah. And we're going to just go around the areas around that we want shadowed. And that are going to end up being a little bit tarnished, like silver will tarnish in areas that aren't touched a lot. Especially around little pictures and stuff like that. So that's what's going to be up here, is a little bit of tarnish going around those little pictures, that little bit of picture there. Engraving, whatever you want to call it. And then we're just going to take our cool gray and just go over it again, blending that lamp black into everything. Now I could have gone with the ivory black and gone a little bit darker, but I really didn't want to go too dark with it. The train is just having a heyday today, aren't they? Noisy, noisy. Noisy trains. Alright. Now we've got a cute little butterfly here, and I want to do the butterfly in purple. So I want the French violet, which is this one. Nope, that's not it. It's this one. So we're going to do the French violet around the edges. and up into here a little bit. It's going to be a pretty butterfly. All butterflies are pretty. All butterflies are pretty. Now we're going to use mauve or mauve. Where is mauve? There is mauve. And we're just gonna blend that brighter purple into this really light purple. Like that. And then we're going to take purple, cobalt violet, which should be this one. And we're going to do our shadows with it. And then we're going to take Rose Dior, which is a nice bright pink, and we're going to just do our little spots with that. And then we're going to take this one here, maybe, just need one. Do I want no, don't want this one. I want this one. So we're going to take some sanguine, and we're just going to color his little body in like that. And we're going to take our green, and we're going to do our leaves. And I'm almost taking too long coloring this. This has to be so boring for you guys. Takes me an hour to color just a little tiny picture, just to show you these pencils. But it's so cute. I like these kinds of pictures though. They're quite detailed, but not so detailed that you can't color them quickly. And like I said, it only takes about an hour for me to color one, and I just go overboard on detail. So I'm quite sure that most people could probably color it quite a bit faster. Alright. Now I'm going to take this blue, which is light turquoise blue, and I'm going to do the flowers. So that they match the teapot. Don't know why, but I love blue teapots. I just think they're wonderful. And I just did those really, really quickly because I'm going to come back in with the Palacio blue and do the edges. just to wake them up a little bit. And then we're going to grab that yellow, this one. So this is the cadmium yellow. And we're going to do the centers and all of these little spots. Just so that it matches the teapot and the teacup. Okay. Then we're going to take our lamp black and we're just going to go through and do the steam coming off the cup. And we're going to polish it off with a little bit of the cold gray. And there we have it. Oh, we were going to cover those. I think we're going to do those in black in these little spots. There we go. And I think I missed one with the yellow. Alright, now we're going to grab a dark green. I think, where is the really dark green that we were using? Did I put it back? Yeah, I did. So I'm going to grab Viridian and we're going to put some dark green into the leaves. Because I can't leave them like that. They look half naked. Am I the only one that does that? Just doesn't look finished unless it's got, more than one color in it. I guess it's just a depth thing. It doesn't look like it's got the dimension it should have with just one color. That and I'm picky. But it's my coloring, so I'll be as picky as I want. Because I can. I know. How conceited. But it's not conceited. It's true. It's my coloring. I can color it any way I want, just like everybody else. Your coloring, you color it the way you want to color it. And just as long as you have fun with it and relax with it, then so be it. I think that's all of them, except for the ones on the teapot. Okay, I think I'm done fiddling with it now. And I'll do a background on it later, of course. So we're going to take our blending pencil and we're going to give it a bit of a sharpen because this is a really small area. I'm going to need more blending pencils, so I better put in an order for those soon because I'm using them all up. Okay, Ooh, they blend really nice with the Caran d'Ache blending pencil. They blend really nice. Wow. Blend everything. Yeah, they blend really, really nicely with the Caran d'Ache blending pencil. It just smooths it right out, brightens those colors right up. Wow, is that ever nice? Removes any bit of choppiness. And I'm using a really, really textured paper, and it's just beautiful on it. I must say, color me impressed. Now, these are not extremely budget brand, but they are less expensive than, say, the 72 count of Caran d'Ache or, that sort of thing. They are less expensive than Prismas or anything like that. And of course, they can be purchased over on the Jerry's Artorama site. You can get a smaller set on Amazon as well. But I think the better deal is on Jerry's Artorama. Because on Jerry's they run, let's take a look here. So for the entire 72 set, they are currently marked with a closeout icon, so they are cheaper than normal, and they're currently $62.99. And on Amazon, you can get a small set. Let's see if I can find them. I just had them on my screen, and of course I close things, and what happens when that happens. They disappear. So I'll just search. Hold on. SOHO Urban Artist colored pencils. And you can get a 24 set, I do believe a 24 set or the 36 set. Yes. So you can get the 24 set or the 36 set on Amazon. And they will run you $39.96 for the 36 set and $54.96 for the 24 set is $39.96 and $54.96 for the 36 set. So it is much cheaper right now to buy them at Jerry's Artorama. 24 set is $20.99, 36 set is $31.99, and the 72 set is $62.99. So if this is something that you feel that you may want to purchase, definitely cheaper to do that at Jerry's Artorama. And I will of course leave that listing in the description below. I'm going to switch you on over so you can see my mess. These are all the pencils that we have used. So we have used all of these pencils, and a few more that I was actually able to put back in there before I started saying, what am I doing? What is the point of that? And here is our wonderful picture that we colored. Now this is the SOHOs here, and these are the Caran d'Ache, and these are the Ohuhu alcohol markers. So all three so far today have done absolutely beautifully. And of course, we do have one more video coming up, and I will be going over the small set of Derwents that I was gifted, as well as a couple of paints and a few other things. So I hope you will stay tuned for that. I'm going to do them all in one video because they're just a small sets of things. And yeah, I don't want to keep you like all day. So I will do that all together in one whole set of videos. So I hope you will enjoy that. Remember to relax, color, and stay safe. And for the wonderful subscriber that subscribed during this recording, thank you so much for subscribing. I do appreciate it. Yeah, if you want to join us over on Facebook, we do have a Facebook group. So just fill out the application form when you apply. Make sure that you answer all the questions because unfortunately we're not accepting any applications that don't fill out the answers to the application form, just for protection things to keep our members protected and to keep you guys protected when you join and that sort of thing. There's some weird things going on both Facebook and YouTube and whatnot with colored pencil colorings and stuff like that. So in order to protect everybody from those sorts of things, we do ask that everybody fill out the application form so that yeah, we can make sure that those bots and those weirdos don't get into our group and start doing stupid things with our wonderful members. I also reopened my Instagram and started being active on it as well. And over on our community tab, we have a community tab. Yeah, that's the most exciting thing about hitting 1,000 was the opening of that wonderful community tab. But over on our community tab, I do have some deals of the day listed, as well as some coupons for the month of May. So I do go through them, try to go through them every day and post them as I see them. But always check the ones from the previous post as well, because most of the coupons are usually a month long or 2 weeks long. So make sure that you check those. If I do post new ones, I will go through the old ones and make sure they're still active, and I will remove the ones that are not active. So any of the links that are up there more than likely are active unless they've gone inactive after I've already posted. I will only go through them once a day. So with that, I want to say thank you very much for joining me. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Remember to relax, color, and stay safe. Bye-bye for now, guys. We'll see you again real soon.